Should I be good faith with the Tom MacDonald fans? Should I be good faith this time and really try to speak to him? All right, Tom MacDonald fans. Here we have yet another showdown, another reaction / review of another cringy Tom MacDonald song. This one is called Brainwashed. I am a liberal, and I will dominate Tom MacDonald yet again, just like always. I think Tom MacDonald is going to run out of like right-wing phrasing to use to title songs. He used like people are stupid, snowflake, brainwashed. What's going to be next? Libcuck? That'll be his new song. Tom MacDonald, Spittin' Flames. All right, so every Tom MacDonald song goes, basically he says, we all need to come together against the powerful. We all got to be powerful. We all got to fight the powerful together. We all got to be powerful together and fight the corrupt overlords of society. But then he just attacks liberals the entire song because he's a right-winger. Okay, let's see if I'm correct. My other Tom MacDonald videos, I did listen beforehand. But this one, I did not listen to yet, but...
Half the country fell asleep, but they scream woke. We're distracted by vaccines and TV shows.
My God, already. He said this already.
Celebrity gossip, popular neat quotes. Black lives, white lives, which lives mean most? We only
said that already.
dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so when it comes to our soldiers and Pride Month, and I guess Black History Month, we don't need to have a competition on who is more oppressed. I know a lot of right-wingers want to be like, lefties have the oppression Olympics. That's literally what Tom MacDonald is doing. I think everybody that is put under some type of power structure and is oppressed should have recognition in society, whether that's a soldier, whether that's somebody who's gay. Because, by the way, it was on the books just a couple years ago that gay people couldn't marry. Gay people had less rights than straight people. Just like black people in America, through law, had less rights than white people. You can't name a law in American history. You can't name a structure that discriminated against white people, because white people, straight white people, have always been in control. And now we have like Pride Month and BLM being commercialized by corporations. That's not even a political thing. That is capitalism. That is the free market. A majority of Americans support these things. Therefore, it'll be profitable if companies do things like, hey, I'm gonna support Pride Month and all that stuff. But soldiers, Donald Trump in his budget, Google Donald Trump VA budget cut. Donald Trump wanted to cut the VA budget. People like Bernie Sanders wanted to fight for veterans to get better health care. Him and John McCain worked on a lot of things together to help veterans. Just so you know, Donald Trump hurt veterans through that. Bernie Sanders and other politicians who are evil woke lefties, these evil woke lefties, actually helped our soldiers. These are facts. Donald Trump wanted to take away veteran health care because of the budget so he can give tax cuts to big corporations. Bernie Sanders and other progressives wanted to give veterans health care. It's not a debate. This is reality. Not liking woke politics doesn't change who is actually trying to help people. And I care about making sure we do not have veterans in the streets. And we need to make sure we don't send veterans into conflicts that we shouldn't be in either. But yeah, dude, we don't have to compete on who's oppressed more. Everybody should have a seat at the table.
Most dangerous pandemics, propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak.
Bro, Tom MacDonald released a song freaking out about the pandemic when it first started. Like, oh my, this guy.
There's pandemics, propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to defund police, need to defund the media who lies through their teeth like.
There was a vote in the Senate that was talking about should we defund the police, and 99 of our senators voted for not doing that. No Democrat really believes in like defunding police, like deconstructing police. Even like AOC, she says stuff like that. We need to look at police funding, but they don't think we should literally just like disband police. And the National Democratic Party never even did that, which is a funny talking point because they don't believe in that. You can look up the vote. It's a literal vote. These are all facts. I bring up facts, bro. All I do is talk about facts, but Tom MacDonald fans will be in the comments. Little liberal snowflake cuck soy boy. Oh, look at him with his glasses.
Big Pharma doesn't cure you, dog, cause every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. And big oil runs the world, the only wars that get fought are...
Oh, bro, you should be getting vaccinated then, because guess what? The longer COVID lasts, the more people that need to be treated for COVID, the more money pharmaceutical companies make. Right now, pharmaceutical companies are making tons of money off of things like Regeneron and remdesivir, COVID treatments when people already have COVID. Okay.
Every patient that gets cured is a
And that isn't exactly true. Unless if you're like a conspiracist that is like they could be they could cure cancer right now, but they don't want to cure cancer because they make money off it. I mean, maybe.
We're lost and big oil runs the world. The only wars that get fought are with
Ooh,
the
based. He's against big oil.
countries who have natural resources they want.
True. Oh my God, look at him. Beautiful.
I'm claiming if a white man braids his hair and likes rap, he's appropriating culture. But if a white man acts too white,
I don't care if like 2 people on TikTok say you're appropriating culture. Shut
white trash, he's
Stop
a racist,
crying.
he's a bigot, he's a monster.
Stop crying.
Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them.
Bad rhyme. That's like a Eminem reach, but like not clever. They'll probably go against them. We're gonna go against them. Against them.
Stop us,
Bro, fix your hooks,
we're
please.
ready to fight, trying to
They can't stop
brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them.
And I don't think Tom MacDonald has a political ideology. I just think he's really, he really connects to, oh, I dislike this. Oh no, people are gonna think I watched it already. I did not watch it already. I just disliked it because it's funny to do that. It's and people comment stuff like that, like, oh my God, you disliked the video before the reaction. This isn't even an honest reaction, bro. Calm down. Stop crying in my comments, Tom MacDonald fans. Oh yeah, I don't think he has a political ideology. He's just really like receptive to like, I don't know, emotional arguments.
Against me. How did monkeys become people and people turned into sheep? They put fluoride in the water that's keeping us all asleep. Claim they want what's best for us. I find it hard to believe.
What?
Cause they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18. Fake.
Cigarettes, they told us cigarettes were healthy. To stop that, we would need a government organization to make sure that big companies can't manipulate our people into being addicted to a drug that we can't control. When they told us cigarettes and nicotine were healthy things, people got hooked on them physiologically in their brains, and they couldn't get off it. So we would need more government to fix that problem, to make sure companies can't manipulate and hurt people. More people power in government, in fact.
News, fake, woke, distract, and divide. You're either right or you're left or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life. Cause the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. And I don't
Hey, true. Yeah, true.
know what I'm more sick of. Rappers or Joe Biden looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner.
What are you doing? It's such a bad song, dude. It just sounds bad.
I don't know what I'm more
Please. Okay, when it comes to my musical evaluation, I'm sure nobody's gonna watch it to this point. Watch this review to this point. Tom MacDonald fans usually leave a comment and leave. They get mad at me and leave. But I hope they're taking what I'm saying. So this song sounds like a copy of.
from my phone. I'm staying.
It's like a Macklemore song. This one sounds like an NF song. This is actually an NF
Let my
flow.
mental illness be the cause of my downfall. I will never lie to none of my fans. If I did, it would sound wrong.
Like if you know who NF is, it sounds like an NF song. Then you have Snowflake and stuff. And as you can see, I think he does songs like Brainwashed because he gets more money and more views, and that formula works for him. Like all these songs have the same exact words, and same exact messages. They don't really change much. But I think his music is decent when he doesn't do a bunch of like copycat BS. It's not like terrible. He's not a great rapper, but he does decent songs. Like his spoken word poetry was pretty good back in the day. He had all this, he had a video on coronavirus freaking out about it. He's a pretty emotional guy, which is, I think it's good to be emotional, but you should be able to sort through your like ideology, your emotions, and like what the facts actually are. Oh no, I have to go back a little bit.
Divide. You're either right or you're left or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life. Cause the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. And I don't know what I'm more sick of. Rappers or Joe Biden looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner. Cause censoring the president and kicking him off Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missiles. You don't trust the police or the government, but you want people giving up their right to own a firearm. Why would
I mean, I think saying an election was stolen and causing terrorist activity because of that stolen election is pretty bad. And when your supporters are marching on Washington, marching on the Capitol, not, I don't want to say marching on Washington. That was actually a good thing back in the day, fighting for civil rights. But The March on Washington. But yeah, when your terrorists are going and attacking the Capitol, holding swastikas and Confederate flags, and you release a video during this entire thing, and you say, "It's okay, my supporters, leave the Capitol. I love you." Like that's a pretty bad thing. Saying our elections are stolen with zero evidence. We can run down anything. I have debated a couple people on this. They cannot give me any facts about how the election was stolen or whatever. So we should probably talk about that. But do you see what I mean? He only talks. He like attacks one side. He says a couple things that are like agreeable, because they emotionally make sense. Like we shouldn't be spending money in like bad wars, which is true. We shouldn't be spending money on bad wars. We should be helping people. We should be giving money to people and funding infrastructure and free community college and all that stuff. But like everything he says is so misguided.
You be comfortable if police and the government the only people on the planet with the right to buy a gun. White privilege getting amplified to reinforce division. It convinces white people that they're favored by their skin, and black people getting angry because they're told they're treated different. So the conflict is between us and never with the system. That's just
one big thing too, it's not because they're told they're treated different. It's factual. I have all the data. I have reviewed the data on many occasions. I can show anybody this data. 30% of black people in America are born into poverty versus like 9% to 10% of white people. If you're born in America and you're black, you are 3 times more likely to be born into poverty than white people, just based off your skin color, because of systemic racism. If you think about how generational wealth works, one way I like to explain this, and this is good for you guys watching right now. Yeah, Tom does. He does steal random flows. He's a copycat rapper. But one big way, a good way to explain this, you have to lead people into this explanation in the right way. So say to them, basically, if your parent is rich, is the chance that you are rich going to be higher? And most people will say yes. And then you have to go down that logic tree. So if your parent being rich means you are probably going to be in a good position, that probably means if your grandparents were rich, your parents are more likely to be rich. And if your great-grandparents were rich, then your grandparents were likely to be rich, which means your parents were likely to be rich, which means you were likely to be rich or well off. And if your great-great, it continues. If your great-great-grandparent was rich, then your great-grandparents were probably well off. And this all continues. Generational wealth is hard to change. And when it happens with black people, whose families, whose ancestors, whose lineage comes from slavery, you have to think in 1850, so slavery ends. Then you have Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, and this gets peeled back slowly. You have one generation, the great-great-grandmothers or great-great-grandparents living in slavery, the great-grandparents living in Jim Crow, the grandparents living in segregation, the parents living in like redlining in cities and in areas that don't have opportunities, and then the children alive today. So that whole logic tree flows down, and you have to walk people into that. You have to really break it down and make it make sense through a common sense way. Because if you try to just be like, I have all the data, I have all the stats, you are dumb, you didn't go to college. If you say that, people are never going to listen to you. But if you really connect to what they are saying, because it applies for everybody. If a poor white person's great-great-grandparent was poor, then that poor white person today is probably going to be poor, or that that white person today is probably going to be poor. But black people were slaves. So that systemic racism, it carries on. And then you add in things like police bias and a different use of force that police use with white and black people. So all this stuff you have to walk down first, how race translated to class issues today, and then you can go into other issues once you have that understanding set.
Have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us. Cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, it ain't you against me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the
That's capitalism, baby.
news. Step 3,
infiltrate adults with the news. So like Fox and CNN, or like, do you mean all news? Do you mean like vaccine propaganda saying vaccines are fake or bad?
Indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black.
I believe that like gay people should be allowed to marry, and a lot of people don't agree with that. And I believe people should be free in our country. And if you don't agree with that, I probably can't vibe with you pretty well. You know, but I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you think everybody deserves equal rights, I mean, then we can get along probably. And
6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them.
I mean, okay, if pharmaceutical companies are all that bad and stuff, why did like Donald Trump cut their taxes by $2 trillion? But then Donald Trump is against giving $4 trillion to people through infrastructure bills. Like, if we want to separate, you know, if the rich and poor were separated, why can't we tax the rich? If you think big tech companies are bad, why can't we tax big tech companies more to pay for things like universal health care or to pay for roads and bridges and for jobs programs? Why can't we do that? If that's the big thing, because I can go through the factual evidence, the literal facts about all these presidents, about all these parties, about all their policies, and I could show you who is actually pushing stuff that will help people.
Step 7, fabricate a prop.
And the minor part of Trump's tax bill that went to, like the cuts that went to regular people, that expires in a couple of years. There's a sunset clause on it. So like, why were the corporate taxes permanent? Why were the corporate tax cuts permanent, but the regular tax cuts for people were not? Like for working people were
Fight
not.
and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
Okay, what does this mean?
They can't stop.
What is situational design? Is that like a weird term that was on QAnon or something?
Cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed.
Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets.
The whole world's brainwashed.
It's us against
Situational design is a marketing term. It's about marketing. What does this have to... Does he mean like... Is he an anti-capitalist? Woo!
damn it, ain't you against me?
Oh, this beat is so like wannabe Eminem Rap Devil MGK mixed with a little bit of like hard, you know, the guitar strings, the rock.
Get fought are with the countries who have natural resources.
I feel like this is what somebody who listened to like the Eminem show on repeat would make as a beat. And they think just saying edgy things is why Eminem was popular. I know Tom MacDonald had that song called Hey Slim, where he compared himself to Eminem. Eminem was a really good rapper. It wasn't just because he said a bunch of insane stuff. It was because he was really good at what he did. That's why he got respect with actual rappers. It's not just saying the edgy stuff that got him his like platform or anything. But anyway, this song, it's dumb. From a musical standpoint, the same as usual. He hasn't really gotten better anywhere. He has these weird flows in the middle.
Censoring the president and kicking him off comfortable at police.
Where was that
Inside
one
your
at?
pocket is a tracking device for dinner. Cause censoring looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner.
For dinner. Like copying the modern rap flows, I guess. I don't know. Cringe. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Tom MacDonald fans. If any Tom MacDonald fans watch this far and they want to debate me, please DM me on Discord. I'll talk to anybody.